So I went to my first ever boxing match recently. I saw Triple G versus Canelo. What are those guys taking home?
I think Canelo's, his guarantee, I think he's making like 35 million guaranteed. I think Floyd McGregor did almost like $1 billion.
$1 billion?
I think so. It had to. It had to because Floyd had 100 guarantee. I think McGregor had like probably 20 or 30 guarantee, and then they got a big percentage of the pay-per-view. But probably Floyd walked away with, I don't know, probably 200 or 300 million.
All right, I'm here with two-time world champion. This man has fought guys like Floyd Mayweather. He's producing TV shows. He is an entrepreneur doing a ton of different businesses, which is super dope to see, especially from, athletes. A lot of athletes don't know what to do next. I got none other than Andre Berto. What's up, man?
What's up, my man? What's going on with you?
Yeah, man. Happy to have you here, man. Appreciate you coming by.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I'm definitely happy to be here.
Yeah. So, dude, you've accomplished a lot in your career, man. I mean, as a fighter, how many years you been doing it now?
Well, I'm 39 now. I had my first amateur fight when I was 7.
7?
I was 7 years old. I had my first amateur fight.
Is that child abuse? They let kids start boxing at 7?
Oh, yeah, they let them start scrapping at 7. So I actually started training at 10, and I was legally, able to fight my first fight at 7.
Wow.
Man.
And you climbed. Where were you doing this at? Where'd
I
you grow
was
up?
doing it over in Central Florida. I was born in Miami.
Okay.
I was raised in Central Florida in the Polk County area.
Okay.
And of course, there was nothing going on around the area. Just a lot of craziness, streets, drugs of that nature. And my dad was a fighter. Growing up, he was into mixed martial arts. He used to shoot fight. So it's somewhat of the mixed martial arts, UFC, over in Japan before it came over here to the States.
Yeah.
So, so just seeing him, work out every day and just me, I was a little bit of a troubled kid just growing up in school. I had a lot of energy. So, I had to, got me in trouble a little bit.
Yeah.
So he just started bringing me to the gym with him. I just
Turn that aggression into a passion.
Of course. He made me fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Made me fall in love with it for sure.
Yeah. You were telling me before this that you got like shipping ports in the Dominican and Haiti.
Yeah.
You're going all in on making content and shows and
shows, real estate. I'm all
like.
over
What
the place.
are you more passionate about, business and entrepreneurship now?
Yeah, I think when it comes to just athletes in general, man. I think we are special to a sense. And I think a lot of us athletes, we need to understand that it just doesn't stop like that. Fire shouldn't just stop once that career stops. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You have something special in you, so you just need to keep it going. So for me, of course, it's been the fight game, but I love business as well. I see it as another sport for me.
That's exactly how I saw it, man.
Yeah.
Like, because once you stop competing, you need something to fuel the fire.
Facts. Need that. Need it.
Like, nothing will ever fill the void of competing. You just can't turn it off.
All the time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, you start rolling through the ranks,
Yeah.
You go pro, you start winning fights, and, you're fighting guys like Victor Ortiz.
Yeah.
And then you get a fight with Mayweather.
Yeah.
What's it like fighting those guys?
It was crazy. Just me, myself, of course, and at a very young age, I was very, very passionate and very, just relentless on my goals I want to achieve. Of course, coming from a small town, but for some reason in my mind, I just knew I was gonna make it on that TV some type of way, and it just drove me each and every day. When it came to just going to the gym, fighting in tournaments, being able to go to the 2004 Olympic Games, and when that happened, I just knew that I could take it to whatever level I wanted to take it to. So, of course, just fighting guys like Victor Ortiz, Floyd Mayweather, on just huge stages. You see 20-some thousand people in these arenas, millions watching around the world. It just felt like, just everything that I've ever dreamed, I was able to, manifest and just continue, of course, to work hard and make it happen. So, it's been great.
Yeah.
Great, it's been amazing.
What do you think, for a guy like Mayweather, right?
Yeah.
This dude, most would probably call him the best boxer ever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how do you think, how did he maintain his dominance for so long?
stayed smart.
He just smarter than everyone else.
He stayed smart, man. He stayed smart. And, he is a very good, con artist when it comes to the media. You know what I mean? Like, I still remember when I was an amateur, Floyd used to come and watch me fight as an amateur because he used to hear so much about me. He used to come and watch me fight at certain tournaments. I won, I believe, National Golden Gloves one year, and he came out. He watched me win it. He took me out that night. I think I was like 17, 18. Just pretty much just showing me the life. But I was able just to watch him and observe him and to try to wonder why he was so good. He would take me to the club. He took me to the club that night. And like after the club, he had a pair of, running shoes in his trunk. And he, always just moved around with a huge entourage, 20, 30 people. And of course, everybody in the club, they're seeing him throwing money. He's ordering all these bottles of champagne, never takes a sip of it. He goes outside after the club, throws his running shoes on, runs 5 miles to his house.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, I see what's going on. You know what I mean? So his dedication and
you would never know that
you
watching the media.
You would never know that. You would never know.
He wants you to think he ain't like doing things.
He wants you to think that he's not doing things, but that boy is so relentless.
Yeah.
He's so relentless. Him keeping that O on his record is everything he worries about. That is it.
That's it.
That's the thing that makes him work hard.
Yeah.
He can't lose that.
Why do you think he's been, obviously his work ethic is crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's it.
But the dude has fought the best boxers in the world.
Yeah.
They can't beat him. Some say, well, dude, he's just always on defense. He's just kind of like dodging people.
Yeah.
But once again, he's just picking a strategy that wins.
For sure. He's just extremely savvy. Like I said, when I was in there with him, like a lot of us, like me, myself, of course, I'm a very aggressive fighter. If I'm training harder in training camp, I'm looking forward to stepping in that ring and really feeling some physicality, like really feeling, just really ready to go to war. And the thing with Floyd, when I fought him, he thinks, offensive first. Well, all of us think.
He thinks defensive.
He thinks defensive first on fight.
Yeah.
While all of us are thinking, offensive. So while we're trying to throw punches, and try to catch him, he's just chopping. But he's looking and he's observing. He's observing everything in that ring, not just you, but every area in that ring. He knows, like he's so comfortable in that ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it kind of puts a lot of us just out of place because we're just not used to it. We're used to somebody else ready to clash with us, but him, he's like an artist.
Yeah.
Pop, pop. You know what I mean? Touch him when he can.
And like nobody's training that way.
Nobody's
It's not
training that
sexy.
way. Nobody's training that way. It's not sexy, bro. But like I said, he just figured it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He knows how to keep that composure, under the lights to do that because it's very easy, with that crowd and, that craziness, just really just get out of your character and just go to war.
You just
go crazy.
to town. Yeah.
Just go crazy. Just go crazy.
So, the thing with boxing that's interesting is you're starting to now see like it shift.
Yeah,
right?
man.
It used to be about, man, who's the best boxer? This is the guy.
Yeah.
Now fighting is more about who's the best, who gets the most attention, right? Who's making the most noise, and that's who's going to get the fights. And you see guys like Jake Paul coming out of nowhere, right? And this dude's probably making more than almost everyone fighting.
It's crazy.
What do you think of all that?
Of course, I've known Jake for a while. Him and his brother, we've been real good friends for a while. I see, of course, like you said, we see a big shift in the game right now. And I think it's kind of similar to like how the music industry kind of took that same shift. Of course, instead of just signing just great talent, now you have to come with the followers and able to get signed. You have to be able to have something just trending on TikTok.
Yep.
And able to get signed to a lot of these music labels because they don't want to, dump a lot of money into these artists anymore. They kind of want them to have something going on.
They got to be ready to go.
Of course. So I'm slowly but surely seeing the same situation with boxing now.
Yeah.
I think Jake kind of, he kind of kicked open that door. And of course, at first, all of us just started, we were, just laughing about it.
Yeah.
But now, shit, you bringing those numbers. You know what I mean? I'm walking in these stadiums like, damn. You know what I mean? He's packing these things out. I'm talking to the guys from Showtime. I mean, like president from Showtime, he's like, yeah, man, I mean, shit, he's...
That boy sells tickets.
Yeah, man, he's really doing it. So now you're starting to see this trend, man. So, I mean, I think the same thing may happen, bro. I think the same thing may happen. I think a lot of these guys, I've been saying it for a while, but I think a lot of these other fighters, they need to...
Did I see something like you were supposed to fight him? Like,
for me?
Yeah.
No, I mean, was that? No, I think we talked about some things in the past, but nah. But nah, I don't think that was not.
Yeah.
No,
what do you think about how much strategy is with these guys? Like, he always gets flack for choosing, his opponents.
I mean, he's a businessman.
Yeah.
He's a businessman. At the end of the day, I mean, you have to have strategy to this game. This shit is not, this shit is nothing to play with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, just him coming into the game, he's trying to continue to match himself with the right people that make sense, business-wise and skill-wise for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's going to get a lot of these guys from UFC that have, these great names, but they're not
boxers.
Yeah, they're not so great boxers, but they have big names here. He has big name here. You come together, that's a huge show.
Yeah.
Huge show, huge numbers. And regardless, if people say it's bullshit, they're going to watch it.
They're going to watch it.
They're going to watch
That's
it,
the thing.
regardless. So at the end of the day, they're going to watch it. So, but like another thing with Jake, man, it's like, I've watched him, from the beginning of his journey. He's really taking this boxing shit really seriously, man. He got a great team around him. And like I said, I think he's getting better each and every fight. Sooner or later, maybe, we'll see him with a
legit real fighter.
Maybe. I mean, if it makes sense to it at the same time.
Well, the guy's got to be big enough, right? Like, for him, he needs the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how many other big name boxers are there out there that are like worth him fighting?
That's exactly. So you know what I mean? So a lot of people, they can say this and say that, but he has to do something that's going to make a lot more sense. So it makes a little bit more sense for him to fight, like a St. Pierre or maybe like a Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because they're huge names, they're going to come together and make a lot of money together.
Well, you said you're friends with him and Logan, and you see like Logan go and fight Mayweather. It's just like...
Yeah. I mean, at this point, man, those guys, they can do whatever they want right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people in the sports world, they're just now kind of seeing them come in and think that they're just getting a lot of things their way. But, I mean, these guys have been building their content, for years now. You know
they put in the work
They put in a lot of work.
To earn it, at least attention-wise.
And, those guys are naturally, like...
They're big dudes.
I mean, they're naturally big. They're naturally, like, athletic, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They used to be wrestlers back home. In Ohio. They did a lot of other things. Like, they have natural ability, man. So it really just comes to them easy.
Well, that's the thing I saw, too, with Logan. He just went to the WWE.
Yeah, you see that.
And, he looks good.
Man, jumping around doing
He's
splits.
jumping off tables.
Splits, jumping on tables. You know what I mean? Those guys got natural, athletic ability, too, man. So, so it's coming easy for them.
What do you see happening with the fight game from a business perspective? Because, I look at it and I'm like, okay, you got boxing, which traditionally, the top of the top would get paid crazy money, right? And the UFC always was underpaid.
Yeah.
Jake is always calling out Dana White and just trolling him.
Yeah.
And then, you got the WWE, which is, this whole other game where it's pure entertainment.
Pure entertainment.
These guys, I don't know what WWE guys make.
Yeah, me either.
What do you see happening with all of this going down?
I really don't think nothing's going to change anytime soon.
You think boxing will still always be like the top
I think
paying?
boxing is still going to be there and be the top paying. But like I said, you have to be the elite of the elite to get that type of money. A lot of guys, I'm still seeing guys get paid, 10, 15 grand to fight.
On big undercards.
Even in boxing, you know what I mean? Like, it's still, like I said, people need to understand too when it comes to boxing, it's, it's no union. There's no union involved. So depending on the fighter's situation, they can still be taken advantage of for 33 to 30% if they don't have their business situation right. And about 98% of them don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They ain't business people.
Yeah, they're not business guys. Like I say, like most of the guys, most of the very talented guys are getting out of the inner city. I mean, these kids that are from the hood, but they know how to fight.
Right.
These kids that are from the hood, but they're just great athletes. You know what I mean? And what do you do when this kid is, very talented? He goes in there and knock guys out. You just hand him a check.
But you hear, and you would probably know more, but like, you hear things like Floyd just blowing all of his money after every fight. And he's just like, you gotta go take another fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the cycle, man. That's the cycle of course I've seen it, since I started boxing. And I still see it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These guys they don't put us in a position to have any type of financial, literacy. When it comes to this game, they don't really try to put any type of financial team around us. Like, you really have to figure it out yourself.
Right.
At least when you go to the NBA or you go to the NFL, you have certain agents, and agents try to put situations
Financial
together.
advisors. And
boxing
is
it's just still Wild Wild West.
Wow.
Like, you have to be able to, kind of have that knowledge yourself to try to put some good people around you.
So for you, I mean, like we talked about in the beginning, you got a bunch of entrepreneurial things you doing, investing. Yeah. So how did that start for you? Like, was it after? Was it during?
Man, my dad was always, he was always an entrepreneur. So he had restaurants, he had gyms, he had all these other different things. So, him, being, from Haiti as well, and of course just us just growing up in a very, kind of like poor environment. Once I got to that point of success, I always just knew in the back of my head, like, I just don't want to go back to that. Yeah. It doesn't matter how much money they give me. Like, after I came back from the Olympics in 2004, like by the time I came from the games, I already had a team put in place.
Right.
You know what I mean? I planned because I could already feel what was coming. You know what I mean? And I had some great friends around me at the time. I got Tracy McGrady. I grew up with him, a few other, NBA guys. And I pretty much, always just, just like cling to those guys and wanted to use their teams for certain situations. And I just put my own team together, man, So I know as soon as I got this money, man, I didn't want to lose it at all, so.
Yeah.
So
what are some of the things you're doing now?
Some of everything, man. I'm doing a lot of, different, of course, like content production. And I've been doing, for a few different shows.
And you're not talking like social media content. You're talking like,
I'm doing like
you showed me a preview.
I'm trying to do shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some dope shows. I got some, of course, just some dope, content for everybody that follows me. They know what I do on my social media platforms. I've been in the real estate game now for a nice little minute, a few years now. I own a lot of property, over in the Caribbean as well, when it comes to
what are you doing with
the ports. When it comes to the ports or just
your real estate, what do you invest in?
I'm actually, just trying to get a little bit more heavier into them. I was doing a lot of like government assistant homes at first.
Yeah.
When I was fighting, it was like, okay, cool, I just got this money. I need to put it somewhere that's gonna work. I need to try to move something. So those were I was doing at first. I just sold those probably 2 years ago. And now, of course, like I called you about, I was getting more into like the wholesaling. I just got introduced to the wholesaling a few months ago from a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've always was like a buy and hold type of guy. And I had a friend of mine, every time he came around us, he had all this money. He's driving Rolls Royces. He's hanging out with us. I'm like, dude, what do you do? I never see you working. Like, what's going on? He was like, yeah, man, I do the wholesaling situation, this and that. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, what's that situation? So he sat down and kind of broke it down to me. And he's been doing it for a nice, I guess like 7, 8 years. So somewhat, like that situation is somewhat almost like an ATM machine for him.
Yeah.
That goes into, all his other, real estate, portfolios, all of his flips and things of that nature. So I was like, yeah, I need to tap into that.
I need to
tap into that too. So I put a team together, of course.
So you guys are starting to wholesale now?
Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing flips. I'm doing.
Where are you doing them out of? Out of here in Florida?
Out of here in Florida. Here in Florida, mainly here in Florida and North Carolina. Yeah, as of right now.
Yeah.
As right now,
You're gonna
my
go
one-time bill.
nationwide and be wholesaling soon.
Man, listen, I'm still, like I said, I'm still a baby in the space.
Yeah.
Everything I get involved in with all my other businesses, I really try to shut everything down and really sit down and just really take my time to learn it myself before I bring in all these different employees, VAs, and things of that nature. So we just now starting to really get pumping.
What about
Cool.
you said you got real estate in the Caribbean?
Yeah, man, I got some ports.
Okay, so how do those work?
Those situations, of course, you gotta have certain relationships. you gotta
get in.
Yeah, you gotta have certain relationships to make those things happen, man. But just me myself, just being like I say, of Haitian descent, and I've been down there for last 15 years, dealing with the crazy government there and and just people there and in general. So we're able to to acquire like the port.
So you buy land at the port, or
buy land. We're able it's really just licensing the port.
Right.
Really licensing.
You're buying the rights.
Of course, being able to license it, buying the rights and being able to do the transport and outside of the port and make the money.
So do you just make a rip every time a ship comes in?
Yeah, just basically. We do a lot of stuff from Haiti to like Dominican Republic, and we just now about to close in a contract with here in the U.S. as well. So every time, like I said, product goes, we get a piece off of that every time. Product goes back and forth, we get a piece off.
Do you just charge them like a port fee or something like that?
Yeah, we charge them port fee, and like I said, we just got a big team out in the DR that's making sure everything continues to go. I have a big team out of Haiti as well, since I'm traveling a lot out this way.
Real quick, if you haven't heard, my book, The Wealthy Way, is coming out December 13th. I have been working on this book for years, and I'm super excited about it, and I want to have a massive launch, and I need your help. So here's what we are going to do. You can actually pre-order the book on Amazon right now on the Kindle version. And the best part is that Kindle version is only going to be 99 cents. Now, this book is a lot more valuable than 99 cents, but I want to get it in everyone's hands. So you can support by ordering it there right now. Now, on December 13th, you can get access to the paperback, you can get access to the Audible and all that good stuff. But that's not all we're doing. If you want to really support and leave a review for the book, I'm actually going to be giving away a free course that I created called Business Builder Academy. This is teaching everyone how to start a business from start to scratch, how to figure out your branding, your products, sales, marketing, everything that I've done to start up all of my businesses, I've put into this academy, and I'm gonna give it to you completely free as long as you leave a review on Amazon. So think about it. You can go buy the book for $1, leave a review, and get a course worth thousands. So if you want to support and you want to get access to that, go to wealthywaybook.com, okay? wealthywaybook.com. You'll be able to go pre-order it. You'll be able to submit proof of your review, and you're going to get access to that course. So I appreciate all you guys. Let's have a huge launch for this book and change some lives. Wow.
Yeah.
So like the team, what's their job? Just to help the ships? And
their job is mainly making sure everything gets cleared on customs. Everything gets, everything gets cleared and up on that side, to make sure everything gets delivered on the side, on the Haiti side as well.
Got it. That's a cool business.
So it's pretty productive, man. It's pretty productive on that side.
So you got that. You got
production.
The wholesaling going on now.
We got the TV production stuff going on.
Tell me about the TV production. So how do you go from fighting to TV? Because even a guy like me who's into content production, right? Like I got a full-on team in studio with me all the time. I'm making social media.
Wow.
But I know that making a TV show is a totally different level of production.
For sure. Really, the main thing I really got into that is me, just really as being just a fan of the sport as well, and just really taking the seat back and kind of trying to figure out what our fans really want to see from us, in a sense. As fighters, of course, me showing you the last show that I just showed you, I feel like it just needs to be a little bit more in depth, and to really come into the fighters' lives, and not just just us as fans. We want to get closer nowadays with everything when it comes to content, just period. If it's posted on Instagram, if it's, if it's on, like I said, YouTube, whatever the case may be, these fans just want to get a little bit more closer to you. So a lot of my content now, or like even just a lot of my shows, it's just really the fact that it's really just trying to draw as much, into these fans and the fighters as much as possible. Yeah. Especially with this last situation I just put together.
Yeah, can you talk about that show? Or
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be nice. You guys are gonna see it here soon.
Yeah, it looks good. I saw.
Yeah, we're gonna lock it in.
Yeah.
We're gonna lock it in. No, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. So, those are the main three things you're working on at the moment?
Yeah.
Any plans to come and fight again? Like, what's the deal?
We've been talking about it. Because I haven't officially retired yet. And I think because of the network, they, like I said, they stay on my social media. They see I'm still working out every day, still staying in shape. And, just still talking crazy, talking big sometimes.
How does it...
talking about shit.
How does it work? Like, tell me behind the scenes of what a fight looks like. Just like from start to finish, right? They're like, Andre looking for another fight, man. So you guys are just like picking who you think is a worthy opponent?
It just depends. We don't really... I mean, guys can pick somewhat, but, it just depends on the rankings. Depends on what the fighter wants to do. It just depends on what belt they're going after, who has it. It depends on, on the management. You have to be the right team. You have to be you have to be the right, network as well. So it can make sense. And, it's just the fact of just talking and negotiation. Of course, if it's scintillating enough, they'll make it happen. You know what I mean? So if I see you and I want to fight you, I might go in and then talk a lot of shit. If you act like you don't want to fight, I'm going to talk a lot of shit.
Oh, boy.
You know what I mean? Hopefully try to get at your team and try to see if we can make something happen, see if we can make these numbers work. See if we can make these numbers work and, talk a little bit more shit. Just try to push it down.
I just started training for boxing like a month ago. Definitely not enough to fight you or anybody else who fights. So everybody's been saying, who are you going to fight? Who are you going to fight?
Really?
And I'm like, dude, I'm just training for fun. Just,
Really?
like I want to get in shape. I want to learn to defend I'm like learning stuff I never knew, man. They're like, bro, you got to throw your punch. You got to like turn your wrist. And I'm like, that's how people punch?
Yeah. Man, you know how many people I see out here fighting that just can't fight?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I'm already learning a ton, but I got, I'm in Vegas, so I'm in the hub.
Yeah.
There's fighting everywhere.
Definitely. I mean, it's the best way to get in shape, bro. It's the best way to get in shape just all the way around.
Yeah.
I feel I have a lot of, great friends, NBA, basketball, NFL, soccer players. We got models that come in and work out.
I think I saw Le'Veon Bell was on Jake's.
Yeah. I think he just got beat.
Yeah, I think he did get beat. But that dude, all pro.
Yeah.
That dude is jacked.
He's jacked. But like I say, like some of that stuff, it doesn't really transfer, to the fight game. You gotta be loose, you gotta be agile, you gotta be smart, you gotta know technique.
But it's funny, like I remember watching that first fight with Nate Robinson. And Jake. And Nate was like trying to tackle him.
Oh Lord.
And Nate, you could see like, okay, that is what like a normal person fighting
would
looks
do.
like.
Would do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like you get a guy like Nate, the heat comes to you. The first thing
can't even control it.
The first thing you do, you trying to run into it and try to grab you. It don't work that way.
Don't work
you know
that
what I'm saying? As you can see, ended up a bad situation.
It was not good.
It was not good, brother. So, like I said, a lot of people starting to get into the fight game, which is great, which is dope. When it comes to a lot of different, influencers and athletes, period. But,
and that's what I'm saying, like, that I see happening is like, dude, you saw, what was it? Jake was calling out Andrew Tate, right? It's like, if those two fight, that fight is going to be huge.
Huge. So now it's turning into like more of an entertainment type situation. But, but like I said, man, like Jake is fighting. Like you have to really, it can be entertainment. This is going to be fun and funny and all that for right now until somebody gets knocked out bad.
Yeah.
And then I think they're gonna be like, all right, you know what? Yeah, we should need to try something else. Let's do some, let's play soccer or some shit like that.
We'll play pickleball.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's gonna, right now everybody's having fun with it and but it's gonna take it, like I said, like one of these big guys that really get hurt.
What do you think about a guy like Andrew Tate who went from being a kickboxer and like a legit fighter to doing what he does now?
I mean, I just really found out like he had some type of like fighting background to him. I didn't know that at first. The only thing I knew about him was just,
just seeing his stuff.
Just talking crazy. I'm like, who's this dude? Like, you know what I mean? I've been watching some videos and looks like he's all right, I guess. But I guess he just, like I say, he just leveraged it. He leveraged that situation and now he's talking crazy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but he was able to leverage that to really, really make some money though, right? I think that he said he's worth like a few $100 million now.
Who knows? Nobody knows what that guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is it though? Like, I'm like, what is he doing though?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I was at, so I went to my first ever boxing match recently. I saw Triple G versus Canelo.
Okay, that's dope.
And, I was near ringside. It was like the energy was crazy.
Dope.
You see all these celebs there and just, the fight itself was fun. And, it's like those are two of the biggest names in boxing right now, right? Like, what do you think, like, a fight like that is making? What are those guys taking home?
I think Canelo right now, I think Canelo's, I think it's guaranteed. His guarantee, I think, is making like $35 million guaranteed.
For one fight.
So, when I say guaranteed, that's when he walks in the dressing room, they bring him his check after the fight. $35 million.
Like it's like that.
Oh, it's like that.
Right after the fight, here's 35
in the dressing room. You don't even take your gloves and your stuff off yet. The lady comes in the back looking for you, and you got to sign that paper. They give you the check. And that's your guarantee. So I think his guarantee is like $35 million, but of course, he gets the upside on pay-per-view. So when all the pay-per-view numbers roll in, he's probably, I don't know, probably 45, 50.
What's everyone else making? Like, what is HBO making? Showtime? What is his manager, like, how much money is being made from this event?
It just depends. Like I said, everybody's situation is loaded. They're different. People's managers get paid, different. Like I say, it's no union, so it's no real, like, regulation standard type. Yeah, so you kind of can do whatever. And it all just depends on what he negotiated with the network too, because just like I say, everything is separate. So if he's making 40 or 50, of course, and networks they get a nice little chunk too, because they get sponsorships, they get sponsorship dollars, they get site fee money, they get international royalties, they get all types of other stuff that comes into the play.
Yeah.
So so those events can get crazy. Like I think like Floyd and Floyd and McGregor did almost like $1 billion.
$1 billion?
I think so. It had to. It had to, because Floyd had 100 guarantee. I think McGregor had like probably 20 or 30 guarantee, and then they got a big percentage of the pay-per-view buy. So I think probably Floyd walked away with, I don't know, probably 200 or 300 million.
Well, you see, like, I haven't heard of McGregor since. Like,
I just spoke to him the other day.
What's he doing?
He's out in the Dominican Republic, shooting a movie.
Well, there you go.
I forgot the name of the movie. But he's shooting a big movie with, I forgot who he told me it was with, but yeah, he's
going to follow the Rock's path.
Oh, yeah, he's doing some other shit, man. He's a machine. But I met him years ago before he really like blew up. Me and him were in I think in LA together. I tore my shoulder. We met in like a rehab. I tore my shoulder, he tore his knee. And I remember sitting in there and this fucking guy walk in, he's on crutches, just talking a lot of shit. I'm like, who is it? And they sat him right next to me. I'm like, yo, okay, I gotta be in this rehab for 6 months. Don't put me next to this dude. I'm like, come on, dude. He's talking. But we were there, I think, for 6-7 months, man, and we ended up just becoming really, really good friends. And the way he was talking then, exactly the way he's talking now. Like you couldn't tell him that he wasn't going to be the biggest star on the planet. Then, like he was automatically just like competitive. He's like, I tore my knee. Like when did this guy? How long did it take him to recover? Oh, okay, I'm going to beat that by 2 or 3 months. Like I'm this and I'm that. When I get to the UFC, they're gonna. Like he was talking big shit then, man. So. It was crazy, man. He blew up. I'm like, oh shit. He spoke all this stuff into existence.
Well, the thing like with him too is, he made a big lick from fighting Mayweather, but he made a ton from selling his whiskey.
Yeah, man. Proper 12 went crazy.
Yeah.
Proper 12 went crazy. Now he has the Forge. I think he has a Forge situation that's blowing up. He has another big company as well. So I think the Proper 12. I think it's like $1 billion valuation now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like he really capitalized on all of his success outside the ring, killed it.
And that's one thing I look at, like, you're starting to see these guys who get influence from whatever they do, sports, entertainment, whatever. And then you see guys like McGregor do Proper 12. You see The Rock do his. You see, Rihanna do her stuff, right? And they're just killing it, hundreds of millions, and making way more doing that than they are doing whatever their craft is, right? But then, you see, like, I'm trying to think like a guy like Mayweather. I'm like, man, he didn't do anything. Like, what is this guy doing?
It's crazy. I just had this conversation with her. I just had the same conversation.
Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they're doing it.
I just had this conversation with a friend of mine a few weeks ago. I'm just like, dude, like, man, it's like you see a guy like Conor, you see a guy like Jake and Logan. They really created real business empires and really just leveraged this situation. But like I say, Floyd is still taking these little licks here and there just to make some quick money. Like this shit ain't adding up right, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's not adding up right.
Like, how do you not have $1 billion business yet with everything going on?
Yeah, I think it's just I can't really even just say just the culture in general. We rather, just look good first and keep on looking good first before we really just dial into the business heavy and just really try to, think about like the generational wealth aspect. I think it's always just been just like a downfall. Just in general, and just like we said, like it's clear to see, like I just literally had that same conversation a few weeks ago.
How do you think you change it for the next generation? Because if Floyd ain't setting the example for these guys, how do you say, look at these guys, man, this is what you do with your fame?
Is to be able to, like somebody like myself, man, just continue, to invest in certain businesses and continue, being a dope, like spokesperson, about it and show these guys that you can make money doing it. And that's one thing, like I said, when it comes to our culture in general, like we like to see shit. We like to see stuff. Like if you look like you ain't got money, we ain't listening to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like a little, so it's like a balance to be able to, make smart moves and just talk about it. But you might have to show like, listen, this is what I'm getting from this.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what, a lot of us get attracted to, especially like the young guys too, man. So like I said, these guys like myself and, some other guys just to really just shine and, just really try to shine that light on that. But like I said, you have to reach that point of success for them to really look and believe you like, oh, okay, I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it just takes really just one of us to really make it happen.
Well, I think the cool thing is now with social media, right? Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the moment you're retired, you're kind of like out of it. Nobody knows what's happening with you or anything, right? And now these young boxers can go look at you.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Andre's launching a TV show.
Yeah.
They're watching this interview. Like, I didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah.
His career is actually just getting started.
Yeah.
And
that's the only thing, that really, that's another thing that really just fuels me, man, because like I say, people see me now, they see my social media is very, very active. They see I'm with this celebrity. They see me diving in this business. Like it's steady rolling. And my thing is, like I tell my guys all the time, I'm like, listen, bro, like this boxing shit is, of course, it's been amazing, but it has to be the stepping stone to the next situation. Yeah, like I said, I think it's just a lot of different, nuances and just levels to life, period. You understand me? So the whole, like I said, like the boxing situation is almost time like to go to the next level and graduate again.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next level. Let's keep it going.
So I'll say this, man, as an athlete.
Yeah.
I know people are like, how did you handle the transition? Right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you too. Yeah, how did you handle the transition from from baseball to?
Well, I started doing business while I was playing, right? So I started investing in real estate, flipping houses. I was still playing baseball and like having these flips going on.
But when you did that, were you already, thinking to yourself like, okay, I don't know if this baseball thing is going to work out, but I'm just going to, kind of like tuck this in and start doing it now? Or did you feel like, okay, even if I take off doing this, I still want to do this?
Yeah. So what happened was, I got released by the Oakland A's.
Okay.
And I'm like, dang, dude, I might not make it in baseball. Like that's the first time you're like, I got to start thinking about other things in life. Because, as an athlete, you can't be thinking plan B. If you want to win, you're like, this is going to work out. And if it doesn't, I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what happened. I was 24 years old. Like, yo, what do I do? And sure enough, as time went on, I started to realize, like, man, I'm going to keep playing and pursuing this, but I got to start figuring something out.
Yeah.
And so I started flipping houses when I was 25, but I was still playing.
That's dope.
And the house flipping thing started taking off. And I was like, man, I'm like better at this than I am in baseball. And it got to the point where business was going really good, and I had to like quit baseball because I was like, yo, this is not really going to be my path. Like I can see that now.
Okay.
Business is going to be the path. But I think the thing that made me super successful at business was everything I learned from sports, right? And I've seen guys who, like pretty much every athlete that's truly committed to business, kill it.
Yeah.
Because their work ethic and the level of discipline that you develop from sports, normal people just don't have it.
In fact. Yeah.
They don't understand you getting punched in the face every day for 20 years.
That's it.
That's
it.
They don't understand going to the field every day for 12 hours a day, just trying to go play and then, failing a lot.
And that's the thing. It's like I said, when a lot of people, they get me to come speak to their team, speak at masterminds, it's really just me speaking to like a room full of, like entrepreneurs that have great skills, but just really trying to teach them and talk to them about like the championship mindset they need to have to keep it going and to really try to reach for that championship every day. For us, and I tell guys all the time, like, listen, bro, we already have that. We already have it. All you got to do is just make the transition over. I mean, the game just changes, but the mindset still stays the same. Whatever you're trying to do. Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Just put that work in. That's it. If somebody called you right now, I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, okay, if your manager calls you right now and say you had a fight on the books, what would you do tomorrow? Man, I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna go running. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm like, all right then. Okay, if you try to get to the real estate game, same type of situation. You get you a coach. Y'all study up. You put them reps in. You put those reps in for the next 6, 7, 8 weeks until it's fight time, until it's so-called fight time. And you go and execute. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. The thing that's really cool about business that I really started to enjoy later was, as an athlete, you're on an island. Like, you have your team, but at the end of the day, you've got to perform.
Thanks.
Right? And there's no building out systems and processes like your port where it runs and you make money. And you do stuff. Like, dude, I got to go out and perform.
You got to go and perform. Physically, you have to show up.
Yeah.
You have to show up every time.
Nobody's going to go hit for me. Nobody's getting in the ring for me.
Yeah.
I got to go do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, business is so much easier.
So much once you get through the mind barrier of trying to figure out this new thing when it comes to business, and you finally get some good people around you, either employees or you really understand like I say, like the processes and the systems of the business, man, it really just flows from that point on. When you talk about, doing something, very, physical like boxing or basketball, we got to show up every day. Of course, in our mind, we feel like, it's easy because we've been doing this since we've been 7, 8 years old. Mm-hmm. So it just comes just second nature. Mm-hmm. It comes second nature. Like I say, the business situation, it'll be the same way. You just have to put those reps in. Put those reps in, you're gonna find out that it comes a lot easier. But once you get your first victory, that's what I told a lot of people too, once I really started tapping into the business aspect. And I'm like, as soon as I get my first win, I know it's go time. As soon as I get my first win, my first real check from not getting punched in the face, I know it's wide open for me.
There's other ways to make money.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It's crazy. Like, it's go time now. Should they give out free money out here? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I look at it, man. And, just like I said, man,
how does somebody who didn't get punched in the face for 20 years or dedicate their life to just being in shape, doing thousands and thousands of reps of whatever it is, how can a normal person who went to college, just been working normal jobs, how do they develop that kind of like discipline or tenacity?
Just every day, for myself, me just saying, when I say championship mindset, it's just really just the fact of just making your mind up and just committing to showing up every day on whatever that you're trying to accomplish. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a doctor, if it's real estate, it doesn't matter what it is. Make up your mind every day, and just every day it won't be the same. It's not going to be easy. You're going to go through all types of like all the different roadblocks left and right. But get up there next morning, and you got a whole new face and motivation to you keep knocking and chipping away at it. Have to. That's what it is. That's that championship mindset. Making up your mind that it's going to go the way that I want it to go. It doesn't matter how long it takes. But I'm going to show up every day. Sooner or later, something's going to have to give.
Well, and the thing is, too, even, you do that every day, and you do become the champ.
Yeah.
Well, the next thing is, you got to stay the champ.
You got to stay the champ. That's the hardest.
Yeah.
That's the hardest.
Now you got to target.
Exactly. That's the hardest a lot of times. Once you win that championship, now you got a target on your back.
I'm guilty of this too. Like the moment you hit a goal, sometimes you're like, I did it. Like,
And like I said, you've been killing it for a while. I've been seeing something. I'm like, this guy's smashed.
Yeah.
He's killing us. What's next?
Well, and you can get lazy, and then all of a sudden, somebody else is coming for you.
Thanks.
You become irrelevant. A recession happens, and then you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So the same type of situation in your business as well. Of course, I know you have got a big team. You've been doing it for some time now. I think I seen an interview of you saying that you made like 20 million just in flips like last year. Mm-hmm. But of course, I know you had to put a team together. You got a team in place. Still even having just a strong, system and process, your situation in a strong team. Do you still look out for like the new kid on the block that's coming to try to take you guys out? To a sense.
So, it's interesting, right? Because in sports, it really is like me versus you.
Yeah, fact. Yeah.
And I'm coming to kill you. Like, I'm coming to take your lunch.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, you literally. Me, like, in my sport, I'm coming to just crank one off you. But in business, it's not, I don't look at competition like, oh man, like in business, everyone can eat.
Of course.
Like that's the beauty of business. But I still want to be top dog, right? And so, it's not that I'm competing against anyone else, but I am competing like, I'm not happy with what we did last year. If we do that again this year, I'm not going to be happy. Like we got to do better. We got to grow. We got to continue to be innovative.
Yeah.
Like we got to do things nobody else is doing, right? And I think it just comes like the championship mindset of, the moment you get complacent is the moment that somebody else passes you, the market changes on you, like I just never am complacent. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's that. That's an athlete on you as well too, to try to make sure that you stay on your game.
What do you do as an athlete to like fill the void of like competitive? Like, do you still box and
of course,
train and
of course.
do all that?
Of course.
Play any other sports? Like I picked up golf because I'm like trying to compete again.
You know what? I was
golfing this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really tapped into it too much. I mean, I did it, a few events. It gets pretty, it's pretty exhausting too, man, for 18 holes. You know what I mean? You gotta really like stay focused and really
It's a mental game.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But no, I tap into the gym, every morning. I was there this morning at the boxing gym. It feels like I just need to always feel like this savageness about myself and just know that, I'm still here in any type of way and capacity, just in case, apocalypse happen and everything just, it goes to shit, that I know how to go and just go out there and kill and, and just eat my food, to a sense.
You know what I don't get is when I see these superstars who just get like fat and out of shape.
Man,
I'm like, how does that happen?
You are, brother, listen to me. Like I said, I just had this conversation as well, to a point. I don't understand it. You've trained your whole life to be this prime machine.
Yeah.
As soon as your career's over, you just stop. And a lot of these guys that I see that are like that, those are the ones that have the most problems.
Oh, yeah.
Because when your body's performing at that type of rate, like a Ferrari for the last 20, 30 years, and you just go park it up somewhere, that's it's just gonna corrode all up. It's just gonna, it's gonna break all apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just don't understand that, man. I need to, like I say, you need to keep that mentality forever.
Yeah,
like you have it for a reason.
I cannot not work out and train. Like I wake up and I'm like, all right, I've been retired for 5 years. I still do it. I just can't. I'm the same weight.
You have to.
I'm the same size. And I tell this to entrepreneurs all the time, right? Because a lot of entrepreneurs are not in shape. They don't take care of themselves. Like they're focused on business. And as a competitor, I'm like, you think you can keep up with me looking like that? Like, you cannot. Energy-wise, you cannot keep up with me. You're not going to be mentally there.
Yeah.
Like, you're just not in shape.
Yeah. If it gets a little too hard,
you get somebody
break.
who didn't go into training camp the right way, they're going to be gassed.
Early.
You can sniff it out.
Early. You see it all day, man. So I think it's pivotal for a man to just stay at his optimal, his optimal self, as much as possible. In any aspect. Like that's one thing with me as well. Like me going into business and just really preparing for anything. It's crazy. Like my wife gets crazy on me. She says, damn, like she's getting ready to have the baby. I'm at the gym every day. I'm working out. She's like, what are you getting ready for? I said, baby's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, you know what I mean? Like, so like boxing has helped me throughout my whole life. So everything that is about to happen or is going to happen, I prepare for like I'm getting ready for a fight. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's crazy every time.
You gotta prepare.
Gotta be ready.
Well, bro, dude, I appreciate you coming out, man. It's
Definitely.
great hanging out.
Definitely.
However I can help you. I want to see you build that wholesale empire.
Man, I want to see it, man. I want to get into the wholesale and the flipping. I'm finna, hey, listen, I'm coming after you now.
We're gonna do it. You challenge me to a fight. We'll see how that goes. I gotta be like Jake. I gotta pick a better opponent first. Like I gotta work my way up.
Yeah, you gotta try to maneuver them. See if we're gonna make some sense for you.
Yeah, but bro, I appreciate you
my
coming
man,
out, man.
Appreciate you, boss man.
All right,
definitely.
Guys, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you later. Peace. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that podcast. Thanks for making it to the end. The good news is I've got another one that I know you're gonna like, and all you gotta do is click it right here. Linking it right here. All you gotta do is just click it, and you're gonna see this new episode that you're gonna love.